Entry-level Android specs in a tidy little package. The Samsung Galaxy Fame is one of the company's newest low-end Jelly Bean devices, but how does it fare in the real world? Well, in the hand, the Fame is a cute, compact little phone. Despite a completely plastic body, its design and material choices are clearly inspired by Samsung's Galaxy S3 and S4 flagships, giving it a premium overall aesthetic greater than you would have expected as a result of its low-tier status. The phone's small size means hardware controls are always within easy reach, and the 3.5-inch screen should ensure that one-handed operation isn't too taxing either. We're also fans of having the option to expand the memory and replace the battery. The screen on the Fame's front is a 3.5-inch HVGA LCD panel that's arguably one of the phone's biggest weaknesses. Although bright, it has to be controlled manually, not to mention both its viewing angles and colour reproduction leave a lot to be desired. Running Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean out the box, the Galaxy Fame feels like a current-gen device. Samsung augments the basic Android experience with its own TouchWiz interface on top, bolstering the phone's functionality even further. Users can customize the UI fairly heavily with folders and native widgets, as well as having access to a vast array of quick settings from the notifications panel. In practice, the phone's TouchWiz Nature UX and Samsung's own apps may not appeal to everyone, and they most definitely contribute to the handset's often sluggish performance. With a 5-megapixel rear camera complete with LED flash and a VGA front-facing camera, the imaging hardware on offer punches above what we'd expect from an entry-level handset. In practice, we aren't blown away by the images it produces, but it shows promise in natural light, and the flash is immensely beneficial to low-light scenarios. Head to recombo.com for the full set of still and video samples. As you'd expect for an entry-level device, Samsung has given the Galaxy Fame the bare minimum to work with when it comes to hardware. Headed up by a 1GHz single-core processor and just 512MB of RAM, the user experience would have likely been smoother were it not for the sheer amount of additional features Samsung like to cram onto their handsets. In fact, looking at the phone's 4GB of inbuilt storage reveals that nearly half of that space is taken up by the Android Jelly Bean and Sammy's TouchWiz overlay. As such, startup of both the phone itself and launching apps always proves to be a slow process. The design, camera, and the inclusion of TouchWiz all help the Samsung Galaxy Fame exceed our initial expectations. With a price tag of £130 though, it isn't quite on the money. For a little more cash, we'd suggest making the jump to Nokia's Lumia 620, which boasts dual-core functionality and a larger, higher-resolution screen, or, for a different take on Android, Sony's Xperia Miro is a cheaper alternative.